It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you gotta show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you'd put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Oh, welcome back to the Resupply with me, guy next door.
And me, fan.
Bringing your two-person double tap of all things Space Marines and Laser Force. Hello to you, my friend. Nice to see you. Got a little fuzz baby sitting on your lap there.
Oh yeah, no, he was literally curled up. He has a little tree
Yeah.
right next, and he was curled up there literally until about 5 seconds before we went live, and then he's like, "Oh, I must go on camera and show my adoring public that I'm still here. I'm still alive. Dad has not killed me yet for being fucking terrorist." So basically, he was doing proof of life
Perfect.
for for chat.
Yeah.
So
He's still good. He's still healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you too. Thank you. I gave it a quick brush before we went live. But it's full of curls, full of volume. I washed it. It went boofy. Speaking of which, nice to see you, chat. Hope everyone's had a good week. We're on a good run of shows here, man. Just been a few
it's
weeks.
weird.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for something to happen where it's like all three of us go like, "Yep, nope, sorry, we can't make this week because insert bullshit reason here."
Yeah.
You
know what's interesting about that, right? When we committed to Nats, like when we are all three of us going to Nats,
I don't know about you, but my whole focus for the last month has been Nats, which
I don't know what you're talking about. Nope. I have no idea what the
it's
fuck
not where
you're
you're
talking
at. But as an offshoot for that, like it's me. I'm always pretty excited about doing the show anyway. I like hanging out with you. I like talking to you guys and also chat about just the stuff that
Stuff.
we talk about. But
Bullshit, yeah.
but I really look forward to it when we've got a Nats right just not even on the horizon. It's right there. Like we could see it.
Well, it's one of those things where, because DK and I obviously don't have a place to play on the regular, like for us there's, well, I probably shouldn't speak for DK, but I'm going to anyway. There's definitely an element of just like, well, fuck, like we don't get to do this on a weekly basis. And so, part of the charm for the show historically was, well, maybe not me because I moved away before we started doing this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But like, you and DK had like the weekly stories to also kind of supplement everything else, and then I got to just be the jealous asshole that wasn't getting to play, but I could be happy but pissed off, but happy but pissed off at my friends for being able to play. And now it's just you that gets to be happy to play, and me and DK both get to be jealous. so when we're in a sequence where there actually is something coming up that either two, like if it's a US something or the other, and both DK and I are going, or it's a Nats where all three of us are going, or something where there's some actual like genuine excitement about the thing, because it's like, oh cool, we get to play some lasers, we get to see a whole bunch of people we haven't seen for a while, we get to do this, do that. So yeah, it totally adds
exciting,
an extra element of stuff.
Not only that, and you're right, Dunks, like G&D is definitely illegal in California. Oh, illegal in California. Nah, legal in California, illegal in Detroit, I think.
No,
allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, definitely illegal in Texas. Let's
yeah.
100% illegal in Texas, 100% illegal in Idaho.
Well, so that whole, like we are playing lasers on the semi-regular here.
Making our lights go boom.
Oh, Flower Fliff, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you. Lights. Welcome to the Resupply. Everything is illegal in Texas unless it has
a 30 round magazine. So you're saying that as a joke. That's not that far from reality. I like
Texas.
Yeah, there are multiple reasons that I am happy to not live in Texas anymore, and like that is genuinely on that list. So yeah, it's bad.
So we actually played some lasers this week, and it was mostly fun. The thing, I've been going through this like weird mental thing at the moment. So like, and it goes for lasers, it goes for disc golf. I've been in this like slump, and I think part of it is because I am, I'm back to exercising and stuff. I'm in the gym at least 4 times a week, if not 5 or 6.
Nice.
The kilos are coming off.
Fucking sweet.
Yeah, and I'm at the point where in my mind I'm like, right, I'm fit again, which I'm not, but I'm fitter than I was a couple months ago. And yet, I'm in this weird performance slump with like disc golf and laser force. It's so frustrating, man. Like, I played on Tuesday and just was absolute dog shit. And the game that pushed me over, because we only had 8 of us on Tuesday. People are away and injured and all this sort of stuff. We played a D&D, and it just aggravated me so much, like to the point where I was like, I think I'm done for the night. Like, if I play anymore, I'm gonna say or do something stupid.
Malcolm apparently sympathizes and feels your pain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So here's the thing though, like I can 100% sympathize with that because
Yeah.
there was a point where like so I'm carrying a few more pounds than I want to, but I was carrying more a little bit ago. Like I actually got up to like 210 with 210 pounds, which for me is ridiculous
Right.
in terms of like just performance and everything.
Yeah.
And when I kind of saw that on the scale and I started making an effort to work it back down, there was a point at which I got down a bit, and then because my body had gotten so used to compensating for the extra weight,
Yeah.
not having the 15 pounds that I lost, like my body had to like basically retrain
Yeah.
in order to go, oh wait, you're not carrying that, so therefore you don't have to do this particular set of things. You can do that particular set of things.
Right.
So all that is a very long-winded way of saying, yeah, the performance slump as you're dropping weight is not an unexpected thing because your body is literally having to retrain itself
Yeah.
how to do things,
And just the
at
added
the weight.
fatigue of so like I've been trying to increase the endurance, so like like I've been training before I go to Laser Force. I do
Yep.
like a 30-minute ride on the exercycle before I go to lasers, which is probably silly, but I mean it'll
It's
benefit
not.
in the long run, I think. Strickhaven, how do you feel about in 7 weeks getting to see everyone for Nats, Dan? How do you feel
It's
about
fucking trash. I hate all of you. So it's gonna be the absolute fucking worst. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's fucking trash. I don't like any of you. So fuck
excited.
everybody. No, in all seriousness, like there are so many people that I literally haven't seen
Yeah.
since 2018.
Yeah.
Like there is a subset of people that I have not seen in 7 fucking years,
Yeah.
which is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then there's a subset of people that'll be there that obviously I've seen over the last year or two.
Yeah.
But even then, like I don't really get to see many people all that often. I'm relatively isolated where I am
Yeah.
in terms of being able to see people on the reg. Like I can hop on a plane and get places in relatively short order, but that comes with its own set of logistical issues for
Yeah.
other things. So yeah, in all of my I fucking hate you people bit aside, I am actually genuinely excited
Yeah, dude.
to see everybody.
Yeah.
It's always a good time when we get this many of us together.
Yeah, especially a good portion of us staying at the holiday park. Like that is usually it's a highlight of any Nats tournament, and I do, I feel a little bad for the locals that don't get to experience it, but at the same time, if you're local and you've got some spare cash, come stay at the holiday park because when we hosted in Auckland, like I stayed the week at the hotel with everyone else just because I want to be there, be a part of the action. Granted, that ended up
people are
get what? Yeah, exactly. That got me quite sick, but that's okay.
Yes,
it was
did.
bound to happen at some point anyway. Hey Duncan, I shot neg 1 for both of the rounds this week. Shot pretty good. It was good. We're gonna do it outside. We may as well do it at the caravan park, so we don't have to drive that far to it. Well, I mean that would be sweet. That particular holiday park as well. They've got like a games room, which would have been like the last couple of times. I'm like, why don't we have it here? We could do like barbecue and have it here, but I don't think it's not really set up as like a conference room or like a party events room. So
right.
It's a shame because it would be kind of sweet to do something like that. But we last time in 2018 we ended up I think most of us came back to the holiday park anyway. A bunch of the locals came back, and we hung out and had deep and meaningfuls whilst drinking copious amounts of whiskey, and
we did a live show.
Yeah, we did do a live show. We might do. Well, actually, no, we won't, because we're going to a gig. We're going to a gig on the Friday night, so there won't be a live show after Nats, I don't think. I don't even think we'll do a daily recap. But that's a discussion for later. You know what good playing? Yeah, a good local band.
Yeah, I've heard they're all right.
That's gonna be cool actually. I wanted to clear up some housekeeping, I guess, and just clarify a couple of things for Nats. I actually wanted to talk a lot about the new Discord. We touched on it last week, but I kind of want to go into a little bit more depth. But before we do that, let me quickly share. Go across here. I wanted to share a few things. Now, if any of you know me, and you do.
Do we though? Do we really?
I like merch, and I like providing merch for people to purchase from me. I really should start building a profit margin into the stuff that I sell you guys, but fuck it. I wanted to bring a couple of these up because they are for pre-order now. There's about another week for the pre-order. So if you want to buy any of the merch, specifically the t-shirts, and I'll show you them in a minute, in the lead up for Nats this year, then hit me up, send me a PM. There needs to be a jumper version of this. That is actually doable. That is a doable thing if you want one. I send me a message. But if you want to pre-order some stuff, send me a message. This is the disc golf competition shirt that will be available for pre-order.
That's pretty cool.
I really like it. We've got a bunch of sponsor logos. Shout out to the Resupply Podcast, RPM Discs, Trade Mutt Clothing, I think, Naked Life Non-Alcoholic Cocktails, and Naturally Cooked. They are a sunblock company in Australia. Legends. And shout out to Troy for organizing the sponsors, because it's pretty cool to have people who want to, do like prizes and stuff. So all of the sponsors have contributed prizes and stuff, and there'll be giveaways during the days we play. The tournament is after Laser Force Internationals, so it's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. If you want to casually come and play, you're more than welcome to come and play as many or as few of the days as you want. To be in to win or the trophy, the Dick Gold Memorial Cup. That's open for anyone who plays all 3 days. So
Yep. Yeah. You gotta win that Dick Cup.
You gotta win that Dick Gold Cup. Actually, we'll talk about this one as well. This is another thing that we're looking to sell as well, is the LFDGA, Laser Force Disc Golf Association towels. Use them to dry your discs. Discs. So you don't have
enunciation is very, very important.
That's right. You can't handle a slippery discs. Okay, if it's wet.
I mean, you can. It's just a little more.
It's harder. It's harder to put it where you're trying to put it if you've got a slippery discs. Okay.
Valid.
So I mean, yes, you could use them for lasers as well if you wanted a sweat towel. So we're gonna do some of these. If you want to pre-order those, let me know. They'll be I think the price point's like $15 a towel. So let me know if you want to order one of those. I might do a few extra up. And Gabe, you're making my wallet cry. That's the point.
Yeah, Gabe. This is you're not really familiar with Steve-O's game. This is what he does.
I felt bad about this one. This was actually I had thought about doing these in the past. I didn't want to add too many things, because this is another thing that we did was like the caps. there's lots of shit. But I'm real wary about like, we've got this thing and we've got this thing. Like, because not only is like people on limited budgets, but also I've got to bring all this shit with me. So,
And it's mostly the latter as opposed to the former.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So if you want to tell, let me know. Send me a PM. Well, I'll we've put messages and stuff up on the Facebook and also the Discord. But probably the last thing. Oh, that's weird. They didn't let you post that, Gabe.
No, it's totally not weird because he's a viewer, not a moderator or VIP.
Can you see what that link is? Because I can't.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope, because links get killed from
that's dumb that
anybody is.
It's dumb that it hides it from the admins. But whatever. You've got a couple of the LFDGA minis as well. That's awesome. So there's heaps of prizes and stuff, heaps of giveaways. So if you want some swag, come and win some. Otherwise, if you want to buy some, let me know. Like the Cali tourney where they did the t-shirts, did the shirts as trophies. You're going to have to leave clothes in the house to pack all the stuff going back. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's your merch store for LLT. Gabe, send me a PM because I'll post it for you, bro. Send me it in a message and I'll post it up. The last thing and probably the most relevant thing is the tournament shirt. So the last few years we've been doing tournament shirts. Well, I've been doing tournament shirts. Other people have been doing like garments and stuff as well. I've really enjoyed putting these together. I thought the one in Auckland was probably my favorite. Oh, there we go. Relicsmerch.com. Sweet. Here we go. Relicsmerch.com. Yeah, the one in Auckland was my favorite. I didn't end up getting myself one for last year because I was a bit on the fence of, all right, well, maybe the tournament shirts should only be available for people who attend the tournament. But then I ended up doing a couple for people who didn't go. So last year's one looked really cool though, and yeah. I'm really stoked at how this one's turned out. So it's maybe a little simpler than what we've done in the past, but I kind of like it.
Simple's not always bad though.
That's right. Yeah, and it's got a couple of like sneaky things in there. Like I really like the sunset kind of motif of the Nats logo, so I've kind of implemented that throughout, and it's kind of got a real like sunset / dusk vibe to everything. So thanks, Glader. And then that's mostly actually just quickly shout out to Marco for always doing awesome work with the logos. There's been a few teams that have hit him up for team logos. So if you want to get a team logo done,
I should probably figure out with my team like what the fuck our team name is going to be. And
yeah,
super quick
because we're gonna have. How do I turn stream mode on? Why am I getting bloody notifications? Fuck off. That's really weird. Normally,
because you're bad at technology. You're a terrible producer.
I must have clicked something because normally it goes to stream mode, and so like, but now I'm hearing the boop, which I assume that people, whoever's watching, can hear that as well. Here we go. Bloody hell.
Good job, Steve-O. Well done with the technology.
So dumb. And then also just in this particular design, if for anyone that didn't see, there's a cheeky wee Southern Cross up here on the sleeve. Which if you're a Southern Hemisphere dweller, especially in Australia, you guys go crazy for the Southern Cross. But it's a bit of an homage for the people in Australasia. It's a pretty special constellation for us down here. So, these shirts are available for pre-order. You can have your code name, your code number if you want it, all sorts of stuff.
I do like the position logos down the spine.
Yeah.
That's it's like these are the Laser Force chakras.
Yeah. That's exactly right. That was the vibe I was going with. So.
Well,
perfect.
Success, because that was exactly the vibe I got when I was looking at it. It's like, oh yeah, it's a Laser Force chakras.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Awesome. Except I couldn't remember what they were called. I was like, oh, it's the things, and they're on the spiritual thing, and they go down so the chakras. Awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, if you wanna get yourself one of these pieces of merch, if you're gonna get one, I highly recommend that you get the Nat shirt because they look awesome when everyone's kind of in them on site. So let me know.
Agree.
Let me know if
See,
you want.
Malcolm agrees.
He
Malcolm
does.
agrees that everybody should get the Nat shirt. So how much are these bad boys
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
anyway?
So the shirts, this one and the disc golf shirts are 45 Australian dollars.
Okay,
Which
it's like 15 US. Cool.
yeah, exactly.
Not quite that bad. I'm just being a jerk. But, yeah.
But yeah, they are basically cost price. And this is why I really should like actually put a markup on them. But I kind of want to keep them at a affordable price, just so that nobody kind of misses out.
Right.
Yeah. So send me a PM if you want one, because I'll put you on the list. But the cutoff is the end of next week. So let me know this week. Let me know ASAP if you want one. I'll put you on the list, and then I'll be sending out. You want to? All right. Send me a message. We're gonna we'll do payment via PayPal again, just because it's easier than international bank transfers and all that sort of shit.
So much fucking easier.
Yeah. And my dumb country doesn't have Venmo or the other one. What's the other one? I don't know.
I mean, there's Cash App, but
yeah, Cash App.
yeah,
I don't think we have that either. So
that's fine. It's kind of dumb.
it's kind of dumb.
Venmo's good though. Like I actually do like Venmo, but Cash App is very. Anyway, it's mid.
Lenny, you son of a bitch. You're getting the ping. Yeah, right. All right. That's enough of shilling merch. There'll be more stuff, for you to potentially pay for and give me money for, but we'll touch base on that later. Keep an eye on the Discord. Speaking of which, the new Discord, I really dig it.
Yeah, it's honestly, I've been very pleasantly surprised with the amount of one, the amount of people that did actually like join, from like the post out on the Facebook group where we basically said, yeah, the Facebook groups are fucking dead. We're gonna do this. And then getting the link to various people in various places, like the fact that there's like 150 plus people that have joined, and for the most part have clicked buttons correctly, so they can actually see all of the channels. There's a few people that haven't, but that happens. And then the I'm pretty sure that there's been more interaction on this Discord in like basically like the just over 2 weeks it's been live than there had been on any of the Facebook groups in literally probably the last two to 3 years.
Yeah. Oh, thank you too. I might add that as as one on the
as the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like obviously it's still it's still very version 1 dot at the moment. We're still in the process of figuring out are there other channels that we need? Is there other customizations we need to do? This that the other. There's still a not insignificant amount of setting up moderators in specific areas and that type of detail work. But like, even be all that as it may, it's definitely reminding me right now kind of like what the old Laser Force forums used to be, way back in the day when I had those. Yes, Malcolm. See, Malcolm agrees too. And he wasn't even alive then, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the fact that the community seems to be responding well to it, and and again, I think I said said this last week, but it bears repeating. Like, I know that various of the sites and regions like do have their own specific discords that they've already previously started, and that's fine. Like, this is not intended to replace anything that already exists for sites that are already have stuff going. It's intended to be a place where we can have kind of that central communication, so that you can see that, oh, there are actually people in other states, in other countries, that also have the same level of insanity that I do for this particular hobby. And so with that, like, this hopefully does kind of help spur, like, oh, okay, so laser ball is the thing that's taking off over in Europe, and there's some of the US sites where it's starting to take off as well. Like, hopefully this becomes kind of a catalyst for, oh, we see that there's essentially these 3 or 4 scenes that are developing. Well, maybe they can develop together because now they all know they exist. And so everything's not developing in its own silo. And there's already been like some great kind of back and forth with the streaming stuff, because a whole bunch of the Czech and German sites, like, they've like done some of their own like custom stream overlays for things. And it's like, okay, well, how could are there things that we can take and combine from there with things that we've done? Are there things that they can take from us? Like, there's so much good potential for collaboration between all the various regions on things, where it's like, maybe we all have different preferences for what our favorite tournament game is, but we're still one community, and so therefore anything that we can do that like helps the wider community is worth doing.
I agree. So. It's interesting you say that about like development of sites and I guess games that are played at those sites, because for a long time, and I'm talking like in the early days when there were even when the US and the Australasian scenes were pretty like disconnected as well. It took a long time for us to kind of play under a unified rule set for Space Marines. Maybe that gap would have been bridged a little more. I mean, we did discuss in the early days a lot of that stuff on the forums. I remember there was that dialogue was always there. Then it kind of stopped when the forums went away. And hopefully some of that dialogue will come back in this kind of format of social media, laser force social media, I guess. It's probably not the best way. Social discord. I don't know. Discourse. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it so far the initial I've enjoyed the initial social media. I've enjoyed the initial buy-in that has come out of it, and maybe it's a matter of good timing on the parts of Tu and Gabe, because with Nats, with Space Marines International's coming up, our particular scene are very excited about travel and play and teams and all that stuff, so there is stuff to talk about, and it's a lot easier to talk in Discord than it has been to talk in Facebook.
For sure.
Surprisingly, Facebook was never, I don't know, it didn't seem bad, but when you look back on it, you're like, well, actually it was kind of difficult to kind of talk about some of this stuff, because it's not really set up for that.
Now, Facebook was like, I mean, Facebook was fine at a certain point.
Mm.
There is a reason why I let the forums go back in like 2014-ish,
Yeah.
is because like at that point, like the traffic had migrated to Facebook. You know, we were having discussions there. Facebook hadn't gone, you know, total garbage algorithmic shit yet. Like,
Yeah.
and so it would still, you know, feed you things that you actually wanted to see instead of things that are just trying to piss you off.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I mean, so it was a very conscious decision when I closed down the forums.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, it's not there's no traffic to here. We've shifted everything. We're managing all of our events over there. Um, so yeah, it didn't make sense to spend what I was spending each year to continue the thing. Now, hindsight being perfectly 2020, I wish I'd kept it.
Yeah.
Like there is definitely a part of me that's like, ooh, like had I kept it even like parked, um, then you know maybe at the point when Facebook started going downhill, it would have been a much easier reversion. Like, hey,
Maybe.
we can see this is going nowhere. Let's come back to a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Um,
But even like, so the benefits, I guess, of Discord versus like say a website, like I don't know, I don't go to like many websites on the regular, I guess, like for that kind
Anymore,
of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, because everything's shifted to applications. So I don't know. Maybe there was a world in which LF tournaments gets its own app, but but probably not
Make
because
more
there's
lights go boom.
already stuff that kind of is more beneficial. Helange, apologies for butchering your name. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the resupply. Yeah, I don't know. That's why Discord has been such a good like switch. I think so far, the very early days, but and you're right too. Facebook is good, but not good for the like when you like, okay, I want to carry on this discussion thread, and you've got to scroll down to find where that discussion disappeared to, and it's all disjointed, and yeah, the Discord is a lot easier for that. One thing I've noticed, because you know we've sort of back and forward on the what is it? What are they called? Threads versus the actual forum section of Discord. I don't know if it's the case. I think because so far I started 3 of the 4 existing threads that are in the internationals part of the tournament section. But I think you have to actually interact with the thread in order to like have it pop up as a drop down. I could be wrong.
yeah. There's a certain amount of um, twitchy setup things with that, and yeah, to I know two and I have already had a high level conversation about it, but it wasn't much. It wasn't much more than, oh, this is a thing that Discord does. So there's some other stuff we need to do to make it
Right.
a little more useful. But again, like I said, I mean,
Let's just call 2 now. We'll call 2 and get her on the pod. Screamed.
tech support live.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, like again, like we do want to make it like very clear that, I mean, this is still a one dot, you know, Discord. We're still doing stuff,
Yeah.
To make it better, and yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, shout out to, you know, Gabe and 2 for the kind of the initial setup, and then big shout out to 2 for like all of the like kind of post-launch stuff,
Yeah.
and really a bunch of the pre-launch stuff. Like 2 has been doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
In terms of like the things that have been requested, like she's been doing like all the behind the scenes stuff to make the Discord better, based on you know what what people are asking for. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
all
do.
this as a very long-winded way of saying, like, if you're at Nats and Tu is at Nats, like, you owe her drinks and meals.
well, not
What I'm
but
saying.
gratuities are
Accepted,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Gratuities are accepted.
Yeah. Just use whatever money I haven't taken from you, give it to her.
And that's a problem because you've taken all the money from me. So
I haven't
don't have
enslaved
anything, so.
the player base. Most servers already been on didn't really use threads too much, so getting used to them. So, yes, same. It's definitely like a I don't know, at the kind of top level of looking at the page, it does kind of, it's a little disjointed, but I don't know, maybe that becomes easier with time, or because I know on the Resupply podcast we had a LF forum section, and I quite like the way that that's laid out, but just because it's a little more familiar, I think, than the way that threads kind of work out. But I want to talk a little bit about, I guess, the use cases for this. So, we talked about kind of an overarching thing, and just to preface, like, we talk about, we say we, but we don't mean we, because aside from being like, oh, this would be cool, we aren't we like the Resupply aren't. This isn't us. This isn't ours. It's ours as a community. So, this is just what I kind of, my thoughts on the Laser Force forums is. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I just thought I'd put it out there because, we don't have our sticky fingers on this.
Well, I mean, we do kind of, because we're involved with it, but yeah, it's definitely, this is not intended as an extension of the Resupply.
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
intended as this is for the entirety of the Force community.
Yeah.
Whether and it doesn't matter where that Force community is. It doesn't matter if it's Europe, US, Australasia, like, doesn't matter. Like, this is for everybody, for all of us, so that we can, and God, the corporate bingo is about to come right the fuck out on this. This is so we can find better synergies across the entire community, so that we're not having to reinvent the wheel constantly with different things.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think that was like 4 corporate bingo checks, depending upon which board you're on.
Got a line.
Fuck, I hate working in corporate
No,
America
it's got its
sometimes.
place, man. There's a reason why it's used. It's got its place. But yeah, I really like the idea of a centralized place where the community can kind of hang out. Like, all right, so you put it in this kind of parlance. We started this podcast to kind of mimic the way that we feel about, when you finished a night of members night. You finished a members night. You've played your laser tag for the evening, and then I don't know about other places, but here in Auckland, we would normally hang out for another 15, 20, 30, an hour after members nights, just talking about the night, talking about past international tournaments, talking about our love for the game, just talking as a group. And so this podcast was kind of born out of that. Like, we like talking about it. So, let's talk about it and see if other people want to talk about it with us, or hear the things that we talk about, or whatever.
Apparently that answer was yes.
Yeah.
Which again still shocks me.
Appreciate
9 years later, we're still doing this.
Fucking 9 years, Jesus.
9 years, yeah.
Goodness me. But like, that was kind of what I thought that the Discord could kind of be, but almost maybe better. Because we do the show most weeks for an hour or two, and like then we go about our business for the rest of the week. But having a place where people can gather and just kind of hang out and talk about this common interest we have, Discord, like that's kind of what I thought the Discord could be. And so far, like just seeing in some of the sub levels, like the different site chats, like people from all across the world kind of talking about that particular local scene. Specific, I'm talking in this case like the conversations that I've had in the Czech section of the Discord. Like,
for sure,
it's fascinating because that's a whole new community for us in Australasia and also in the States. I'm hoping that it'll bring us closer to the UK player base if they still have one, or or whatever the case might be. Like, and that was kind of one of the great things about the forums, was that, right? Like, so that was kind of what I was hoping would come out of this. But speaking of the forums, like, have you what kind of, I guess, similarities, I guess, do you kind of want to see, or do you hope to see, or not see?
The thing is, like, so I mean,
maybe we don't talk about not see because those are kind of obvious, but
no, I mean, I think I pretty much like covered the things that I really want to see in terms of the similarities, and it really all just does boil down to, having that centralized space where we can talk as a worldwide community, and for whatever we're working through, whatever, like, we don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time a particular situation comes up. Like, being able to have specific sites say, hey, we're doing insert XYZ here, and and having them be able to say, hey, we're doing this, has anybody done this before, and what are some potential positives, negatives, this, that, the other. Pretty much guarantee in a lot of cases, whatever a site is going to try, like, somebody has done at least a version of it before. And being able to say, hey, we tried this, insert whatever time frame ago, so things have obviously changed since then, but here's here was the net positives we found, here was the net negatives we found, and then being able to, like, bounce those type of ideas, because obviously everybody views things a little bit differently within the community, and how various structures are laid out. So I just want it to be someplace where
sorry,
watching you squirrel every so often is fucking hilarious to me. So it's
sorry, I was listening.
I don't know if I believe you, but okay. Like, I just want it to be a place that we can have good conversations as a community, and I also want it to be a place where the community can come and feel safe.
Yeah.
Like that. Like there's I mean, we've obviously got the cross-link communities with the Resupply and Bluesin and Gray and Frosty and a few others like that. Like, I want this, I want however this ends up to be still that place where people think that, or place where people can come and not have to worry about being trolled six ways from Sunday. There's enough other places on the internet you can go to be an asshole. Like,
go there.
Yeah, go there. And I'm not saying that they're we won't be digging out on each other because that's what we do.
Mm.
But there's a definite difference between having having some banter at each other and actually being a terrible person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I like I've said it before. I'm not really a big fan of some of the more negative type of things, but maybe it's just 'cause, I don't know, didn't grow up on the internet. One thing I would like to see.
I grew up on the internet and I'm still not a fan of it, so it's fine.
One thing I'd like to see, and we've kind of done it here, in our Discord on the Resupply, but I really enjoy the sports lounge in the Resupply Discord, so it'd be cool to see people utilize the chat rooms for that kind of stuff. Is chat rooms the correct term? It's such a
voice chats, whatever.
Chat
voice
room is such
channels,
an
whatever.
old
Yeah.
person thing.
It really is. So well done.
Thank you.
You're getting up there in age, my son.
Oh,
You're getting
goodness.
up there in age.
Yeah, the 40th plans are starting to be made, just quietly. But yeah, like
Oh, that's right. You are close to that.
oh
now.
yeah, very close.
Well, fuck.
Next State Origin watch on there, maybe. I don't really mind where we do it. Like we had a decent crew in the sports lounge on the Resupply Discord, for that stuff, and maybe that stuff, maybe like a sports lounge thing. Like I don't know, like it's the kind of place where we can like have people come in and hang out and enjoy each other's like company. Like I've at some point we'll probably start just streaming games in one of the VCs, just because you go in there, you stream a game, you have yarns. Like I guess the Than chat again on the Resupply channel was kind of that as well. Like like I don't know if you've done it for a while, but you'd play like Diablo, right?
I haven't been streaming like at all for quite some time at this point.
Yeah.
But maybe this is something where I'll start doing it in just in Discord again.
Yeah.
Like
Because there's plenty of like that's the other thing that helps to join and helps to strengthen the friendships that get made in our community. Like that kind of stuff is cool. Just hanging out and just chatting or playing games with each other or whatever it might be. Like it's nice. You do love making the long-term Laser Force crowd feel old when you tell them your age. Yeah. Yeah.
Later, you know what? Shut the fuck up. Because I do remember you interested in being at my wedding. So,
Have you turned 30 yet, Glader? Surely. Ugh, that's terrible. Hey, I just noticed that we passed 850 followers on the Resupply channel. That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Thank you for everyone that follows our channel. Like, we started, like I said, we started this as a way of just kind of like gathering and talking about lasers, but fucking love this shit. Love it. You'll be 30 next year. Oh god.
Fuck off.
So we're 10 years apart. I'll be 40 next year. That's rad. Sort of. Yeah, the online hangouts are quite like, because I really enjoy those in our Discord. So we are too. There's no reason why we couldn't have them in this Discord server as well. I think, I think at some point we'll have a larger reach. Like the Resupply channel, our channel became kind of like an amalgamation of the Laser Force community or part of the Laser Force community and the Twitch community kind of joining together. This one is specifically for Laser Force players, and maybe eventually it'll widen to laser tag enthusiasts, and we'll have a decent amount of crossover, between like, let's say, the Force system players, zone players, and that's it. Especially, off the back of, I think it just got announced, right? You were saying earlier about the...
Yeah, so the Team 8, for Nats this year.
Real quick,
with
we
it-
did a breakdown of
Oh.
the initial teams last week on the podcast. If you missed it, check out our YouTube or check out, there's still a Twitch VOD up, so you can go back and watch the pod. But yeah, we sort of gave an update of those team lists, and the team lists have also been posted in the Discord. So come join that if you haven't done so already. Please continue.
So we're actually going to have a full team of zone players
That's
at
rad.
Nats this year. We've got apparently 4 players up from Sydney, 1 from Canberra, and 1 from Western Australia.
That's so
And
cool.
so they're creating a zone team to come play at Nats. Like this is, I mean, this type of crossover, like this is the good stuff. Like
Yeah.
this what you have to respect when a team from another system goes, all right, we'll come to your Nats and see how and see how this goes. Like knowing that they are gonna get, just torn to shreds because
Probably.
it's not their game.
Yeah.
So they're like, are they going to be good tag players? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Like you don't play at a nationals on pretty much any system, and I'm assuming every single one of these players is a zone net national player.
Mm.
Like you don't play a nationals on a system without having some level of competency at tag just in general.
Mhm.
It's just then the specifics of the system that you're playing that where things can fall down a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm very excited to see kind of how this goes for them.
Same.
And it'll be interesting from a culture shock standpoint, just because like zone tournaments and force tournaments are run so differently.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like zone the zone Nats game, in its is a more basic game. I'm not saying there's not strategy to it, because there definitely is, but at its core, it is a more basic game than Space Marines 5, because Space Marines 5 is a super fucking complex game.
Yeah. Hopefully
so
hopefully.
Yeah, that would be cool if they get a good enough taste for it that they go, hey, yeah, we should play it down in. One of them owns a force site. Okay.
What gen? What are they rocking? Gen 7 or Gen 8? I assume it's Gen 8.
I would hope it's 8
Yeah,
at
I
that
hope
point.
it's 8.
But yeah, so are they going to be good tag players? Sure, 100%.
Mhm.
Like their communication is going to be on point, because that's so much of Zone's game and this, that, and the other. But how they necessarily specifically adapt to Space 5, in any sort of environment, like that's going to be interesting, because I mean, we all know that Brisbane's maze is a fucking bear to play in, just in general. Like even if you know the game that you're playing in Brisbane's maze can be a huge pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And so these guys are all going to be coming basically like, who knows how many games of Space 5 they have. I have no idea. So there's going to be an element of you're blending 3 sites of players playing a game that you're not familiar with in probably one of the most, if not the most difficult force arena to play in.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, like I'm really hoping that that they're obviously that they're there early for in practice, and and we're able to help them figure out the game, figure out the maze, figure out what's going to work best for them and whatnot, because I mean, in the end, we want them to be competitive, we want them to have fun.
Gonna say and I doubt any of them will end up watching this, but in the rare chance that any of them do watch this episode, I would say that the majority of the Force community wants to see them play well and do well.
Correct.
And
Yep.
I think that, like if they were to reach out to players, like we would happily give, like our insights into our game and be willing to help with advice, like even stuff like the way you stand, the way you kind of approach corners, the way you double resupply, like all that kind of stuff that is very Space Marine specific.
Yeah.
That you kind of need to know. Like I'm sure if they haven't already played or been taught it, like people would be more than willing to help them through that stuff. You're hoping to play with the Sydney guys before you come up. That's awesome, dude. That's rad. Like having someone in the building to kind of show them that stuff, is hugely beneficial. So, and
Sure.
I think we want to see them do well. I'd love to see them take games off teams. That'd be
100%.
awesome.
As long as it's not off my team, that's fine.
yeah.
they can
Everyone
take
else.
games off of anybody
But
else, but not my team.
Yeah,
Not my team.
yeah.
But but again, like having said that, like if they do,
Awesome.
I mean,
it means the game would probably.
I'm going to be annoyed
awesome.
because I lost a game.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, the game, like it would have been an awesome game, most probably. If they if they take games from players, the games would have been sweet. Going up to Silverdale, which is just up the road from where Laser Force here is based, for anyone that hasn't been here. Going up there and watching, I think it was Worlds or Nats or whatever it was, the zone event they had, was awesome. It made me appreciate the game way more than I ever have in the past. And we joke about like how superior Laser Force is to any other system. Understandable, because it's the game we've been playing for for the majority of our lives at this point. And
Accurate. Yeah. I just did math and like yep.
Yes, that is correct. But going up and watching them play their game and approach it the way that they all did made me appreciate it so much more. So hopefully they enjoy it. Hopefully the experience is a good one for them, and I hope that we, and by we I mean the Laser Force community, are good hosts to players who are now learning our game, because it's a good thing. There's potential there.
Getting crossover between scenes is fun.
Yeah.
Like, and again the reality is that zone tournaments and force tournaments are run so differently.
Yeah.
Again, like zone, you play a 3-team game. The games are shorter.
Yeah.
So you can so you end up getting more games in because of how things are cycled.
Did they play? Do you know if they have many arenas like in competition play that would be split level like the Brisbane one is? Because they usually try and have it like single level ish, right? And but not. I don't know. Like I guess that's a question for
an actual zone player.
Yeah, might have to talk to Popeyes or type. Maybe we could type in on, ask him.
We can have Taipan on the next time that we want to have a 3-hour show.
Jeez, Taipan.
I know he just talks and
talks.
talks.
It's like, this is my show. Fuck off.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. But no, I mean, from an arena standpoint, like, I mean, the zone arenas I've played in over the years, like, they've generally also been either 2-story or multi-level in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
So it's a thing. It's normal.
Okay. Maybe though, because I've only really seen. I haven't really seen many, I guess. But just maybe from like watching the streams, I always just assume they're single level and they've kind of got their 3 bases kind of designed in that way, right? His arena is Underworld Laser Tag Menai. What's Menai? Don't know.
Must be a suburb.
Oh, true. Cool. Yeah. Oh, that's rad. A full zone team. Power to them. I hope they do good. I really do. I think they will. Maybe we'll see.
Like I said, they'll if they they take some games off of teams, it'll
Not
be
us. Yeah.
it'll be it'll be amusing. But again, like I'm all for that sort of fuckery, and also I hate teams being 0 pointed just in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's a shame.
so, but yeah, I think there's probably enough quality on that team that they should be able to put some stuff together and you know give teams a run. Like maybe day 1 and day 2 are a little rough, but day 3, day 4, when it actually matters.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. I think teams will end up being surprised.
Yeah, I think so too.
Is how that will go.
The last thing, just in terms of the Discord, that I wanted to talk about because it's staring me in the face. There's been discussions around what's happening pre and post the tournaments. If you are traveling and you want to do stuff or hook up with the locals or whatever, use the Discord. Hopefully you can use that as a way to kind of reach out, and hopefully the locals can reach back. I know Gabe was talking about what's happening like kind of middle of the week before. I'd turn up at the end, like kind of Thursday, I think, but then head out of town to see family. So, but we are gonna go out to Toowoomba if anyone wants to come out there on the Friday and hang around. We're gonna play some disc golf. But there's stuff happening. There's a lot of stuff happening. I think Troy said the ECA is on, which is their like agricultural event show thing. Reach out, reach back, reach around. You got it.
I mean, it wouldn't be a tag tournament without all 3 of those things.
That's right. And Stu will be there early to help you out with that. So
all 3 things.
All 3 things. All 3 things. But there's there's like I'm rethinking we are staying for a bit. And you, Stu, and you. We're gonna head out of town. There's like rugby league. Unfortunately, my team, the Warriors, are not playing in Brisbane that week, which is a shame because that would have been sweet. But the Broncos are playing on the Friday night, so if people want to go to a sports game, rugby league is awesome. And actually, I've never been to Suncorp Stadium, so maybe we'll have a look at tickets. But sporting events and stuff, really, really fun. So get amongst. There's heaps of stuff to do. If you want to do some stuff, there's heaps to do. So I'm so excited about Nats already.
Well, and here's the thing, like we're literally less than 2 months out now.
Yeah.
Like it's the 6th or the 7th, depending upon where you're watching this from at the moment. We're less than 2 months away, which is kind of ridiculous on a whole host of levels as far as that goes.
Oh, actually, PSA real quick, because there's been a bit of work going into the stream setup this year. We've actually got a producer that isn't me this year. So Comp Geek out of formerly Oakley.
Yeah.
Comp Geek turns out does this stuff as a job, as a production producer. And I was talking to him last year around the stream stuff, and he was like, "Oh, well, hit me up if you'd like help for Brisbane." And so sure enough, I did, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna help out." So we've got a full-on producer. We're working on the commentary team. We want to make it close to the level it was last year. There will be player interviews and like team lists and stuff. So if you're a team captain, and I think there's a few of you in chat that kind of cover a good portion of the teams that are coming, there is a list of interview questions that I can send you. Can you please record and send them through so we can put some rad player profile videos together? We'll give you some tips on how to take like like good team, like individual photos and stuff, so we can put those up. Just the tip, and also team logos. So if you've got a team logo, send those through so we can, obviously have those as part of the stream as well. So it's going to be pretty cool. Just need a little bit more help from the wider community to make it happen. But yeah, it's I've got your logo. Yeah. But yeah, send them through so we can start putting some of that stuff together. And shout out to Comp Geek for helping make the show awesome this year. It's gonna be sweet. Also, if you want to film or like put together some commercials, like if you do a thing and you want to make a commercial, feel free to fire some of that stuff through. It can be cheesy, it can be serious, it can be whatever you want, as long as it's preferably not offensive. But like, if you want to have like commercials or whatever featured during the stream, that stuff is great filler. So unfortunately we don't have a principal sponsor for this year's Nats like we did last year in
Loveland.
Yeah, what's the name of the company? It's gone.
Liquid Death.
There we go. Oh my god. It just means that there's opportunities to promote like businesses within our community. So if you want to film something, send it through, and we'll make sure that gets put into the rotation during Nats. It's gonna be rad. You get ours around the end of June. Oh, that's right. You got the practice night in Syracuse. So if anyone's in the neighborhood and you want to get some last-minute Nats practice in with some quality opposition, June 23rd and 24th in Syracuse at the Fun Warehouse. Go there and play. If you can only afford to do one thing, come to Brisbane. Come to Brisbane. Fuck those Syracuse guys.
I looked at I looked at that just because.
Why not?
And well, the why not was because the flights were like over $1,000 for cattle class.
Yeah. That's accommodation. That's your accommodation in Brisbane. Yeah.
It's more than my accommodation in Brisbane actually. So
cool.
Dumb. All
right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to kind of bring up with the Discord or anything else?
No, I think we're in a good place today. Like again, like these next 2 months are just going to be nothing but Nats hype.
Oh.
So it's going to be so good, and looking forward to like seeing like more and more people like book their accommodation and everything, and so we can kind of see like when people are going to be places, and just figure out like when where we're doing all the hangs and everything. Like it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good to see all these people that I fucking hate.
Laser Force Auckland have booked our accommodation. We are staying at the holiday park. I know a bunch of the US players have all booked there as well, so it's gonna be good. There's board games and like booze. It's so good. Possibly, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they've got a hot tub there too. I'm pretty sure they do. I could be mistaken.
Oh, good. Laser tag player soup.
That's the name of our new podcast. On that note, for this week, I've been Guy Next Door.
And I've been Than.
Always remember to backtrack, kids. Hopefully we'll have a DK back for the next show. We miss you, bro. Hopefully everything is good. We'll see you guys next week. Always remember to backtrack. Always remember to buy travel insurance and whatever else I say at the end of the shows, because I can't remember. Ka kite anō. See you guys soon.
I've been throwing daggers in the places I wanna go.